We are live, so welcome everyone to the Web Service Frameworks team meeting of June 4th of June 2024. So as usual, let's add our names to the agenda and add mine. And are there any announcements before we start with the usual? Okay, if there are not announcements, we can start with our usual agenda. There's only one point, which is issue number 60, future of HTTP high-level API design. Let's see if there is any evolution on that. Before we actually get started, I have some preliminary results from the survey, and modern HTTP stack is one of the top priorities identified by users. So this is just a spoiler that from what we will when we have finalized the survey data. But yeah, having like the work that we're doing here is crucial, and it is very important for the ecosystem. So that's it's good to know. All right, so issue number 60, future of HTTP high-level design. Let's see. I don't see anything new under the issue. Maybe someone wants to start the conversation.
Yeah, Fred here. I did have some questions regarding the HTTP Next technical direction. So as it was mentioned in the technical docs in a PR on the HTTP Next project by Wes, we want to start using an abstraction for all HTTP versions, which would be socket session stream. And I was wondering how much of that should be exposed in the end result for the end users.
Can you share your screen so that we all get some context? Because I don't think any, or can you share like the PR? Because I don't think everybody has the same context on this.
So I think it's this PR here. I'll just jump back to it. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the HTTP Next project. HTTP Next project. Essentially, we're trying to figure out a design for the future HTTP design. And one of the pull requests, as submitted by Wes, details some of the technical direction that we'd like to go with. And here at the bottom, it essentially says once we have HTTP1, HTTP2, and HTTP3 all built around the same socket session stream abstraction, it will be much easier to maintain the code going forward. And I was wondering how much of this abstraction should we expose to the end user? Because right now the concept of session I don't think is really something that Node users are used to dealing with. And it doesn't need to be like a definite answer right now, but just trying to get some insights.
Yeah, so I didn't have a look recently. But yeah, I think I do agree on the point of having the same abstraction for all the HTTP version. This is something that we've been advocating since the start of the work on HTTP Next.
I'll do some research. I'll see if there's any potential issues or potential benefits of exposing some of these portions to the end user. And I'll try to document those for the next meeting.
I don't think we should expose it. Like at least at the beginning, we should not expose it. Like I think we should be very conservative on what we expose to the user, as like when you expose something, then to change anything, you need to go through a deprecation cycle. So if we want to go for the like we want to create an HTTP server, we want to expose the internal of the socket at all. And I think this has been one of the issues with the current HTTP stack is that you expose the socket and people do all the nasty stuff with it. They do terrible stuff. So I don't think we should expose it at all.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. But at the same time, the balance of that is that people do this nasty stuff for a reason. And like, I'm trying to understand what value they're gaining from this that, perhaps we should expose in some way. Good. I had another really quick question this time. This was regarding, I think, a comment from Matteo on one of the pull requests on that project too. It's more a general technical comment on node lib design, which is around the use of event emitter for performance reasons. So are we stepping away from event emitter, in general for performance reasons?
Yeah, I mean, this was the comment that was left to my PR, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I guess having an abstraction when you can just use callback is quite useless. And I believe that we should step away from event emitters, and I would also like to step away from streams.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, consider that much of the performance degradation today comes from event emitter in first place, and second place, streams.
That's good to know. I think streams do use event emitters also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay, thank you.
So is there anything else on this topic on future of the HTTP high level API design? I personally haven't had a bandwidth to proceed with the work.
In my case, I'm kinda not working on HTTP at the moment. I shift a little bit on loaders, unfortunately, I would add. And so I need to get something checked out for our company. There was a regression in Node so I'm not working on HTTP at the moment. Even Milo is actually on pause right now. So I hope to resume as soon as possible. But due to other necessities and conferences and so forth, I will be pausing for a while on this.
Yeah. Okay, so is there anything else we want to discuss? We have a bit of backlog in terms of agendas. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask a question. Do we want, and so we'll have the feedback from the survey from the next 10, and you said it was one of the main point that is like coming back from the community. Maybe it could also be really quite nice to have a discussion or maybe a feedback about that with people that maintained the most well-known or most of the framework around the Node.js ecosystem to also see with them what's really missing. So there's people from Express, but I think Fastify with Matteo could be great, and maybe other people, maybe some people from Nest, even if they are using Fastify or Express, like below that, could be nice to have your feedback, sales, just to have a bit more feedback from the community about what their main pain point when working or trying to provide a framework that would work for HTTP 1, 2, 3, or pretty much everything at the end of the day. It could be nice to, I don't know if we want to call that a deep dive like the next 10,
Yeah.
but just a discussion with other people that work with HTTP to provide HTTP to everyone. I think it could be a nice discussion and topic just because, so for example, I saw Wes tweets the other day about fetch and how to wrap fetch and people being confused and stuff like that. So maybe having people also from the framework ecosystem provide feedback would be nice to have.
Yeah, I guess we can call it a organize a deep dive on this topic. It would be extremely interesting. Just one thing that I would do that after we get the results from next 10. So we say, hey, this is top priority, and let's do a deep dive. Like we can publicize it more freely, saying like it can catch some interest from external people. So yeah, I will add this to the. Can you create an issue? Do you want to volunteer for this? To create an issue, and then we add it to the agenda, and we can also start discussing a bit about like what we want to include in this deep dive. What are the questions that we want to ask? Okay, so let me write some of this stuff. Okay. All right. This looks very interesting to do. Yeah, we should prepare an agenda. Maybe we can do that asynchronously, or we can do some brainstorming in the next session. I don't know if we should go too far into summer to do deep dives because like I think in August people will not be available. So so we should do this in July if we can get the results from next 10. But it would be definitely very interesting. Okay. Anything else we want to discuss? All right. If there isn't anything else, I will give you your time back, and thank you, everyone. Bye.
Cheers, folks. Have a nice one.